Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on the return of the mysterious Benedict Society. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So many years ago, Disney released an original series on Disney Plus called The Mysterious Benedict Society, based on the popular book of the same name. And it features a group of orphans who have to go undercover at a mysterious place to try and uncover what's going on, because there's been this weird thing happening around the world causing people to act differently. There was 2 seasons of the show. It was popular. It won some awards. I thought it was really cool. However, this show was one of the many of about 100 plus titles that got removed from Disney Plus in 2023 as part of the big removal, where they were trying to save nearly about $2 billion by writing off a load of films and shows from Disney Plus in order to make their streaming division more profitable. There was tons of shows removed: Big Shot, Mighty Ducks Game Changers. There was movies like Crater and Stargirl that were removed as well. Now the movies, they were able to find life somewhere else. They ended up getting put onto other streaming services, and also they were made available to purchase through digital platforms. So it wasn't quite so bad for the movies. But the TV series have been a little bit different. While they were able to find homes for some shows, that instead of writing them off, they sold them off, like Nautilus and the Spiderwick Chronicles. A lot of the Disney Plus shows that were released, we haven't seen anywhere else. However, the good news, if you want to re-watch the Benedict Society, or if you just never got around to seeing it in the first place, it's going to be available on a brand new streaming service, which is going to be launching in October, on October the 5th, called The Wonder Project. It's going to be available through Amazon. And so this one is like a faith-based, family-orientated streaming service. It's going to have a curated list. It's going to be priced at $8.99 a month, or you can get an annual subscription for $89.99 a month, and it's not going to have any ads. It's not going to be the only Disney title on there. It's going to be The Sandlot. There's also going to be The Sound of Music. Just a couple of big movies, etc. Disney is licensing out a lot of content now to different streaming services to redo the generation of its revenue, because it's been dropping off. And the interesting thing is with the Mysterious Benedict Society being available on this platform, it does open up the possibility of shows turning up on other platforms as well. Now, you might be thinking, well, why isn't it on Disney Plus? Why aren't they bringing it back? Now, there's been a lot of speculation that when the deal was made where they had to do this write-off of the assets, that Disney Plus had a long license for this content from the individual studios. It's a very awkward tax-orientated thing of trying to squirrel money away and do stuff with tax dodges and all that kind of stuff. So the idea really is Disney Plus wrote off the asset, and so therefore won't be able to have it until that initial contract, which could have been, we don't know how long, estimated maybe 10 years. But at some point, that show might be able to come back. I like the fact now that these titles are starting to now come out of the vault. We're going to be popping up. It's all really going to depend on if other streaming services are willing to have the scraps of somebody else. So if you're a new streaming service that's after family-oriented content, Benedict Society is a great show for that. Now, are we going to see other ones coming in? I suspect ones that are more closely connected to major brands like Mighty Ducks and Willow, probably less so. But, anything that maybe doesn't have the Disney logo specifically on it too much, who knows? But The Mysterious Benedict Society is a fantastic show, and it's a shame that it got removed. And hopefully one day it will get returned to Disney Plus. But obviously in the meantime, you can watch it on The Wonder Project if you're in the US. It's just, I'd rather these projects got available for other places. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the idea of what they did to begin with, of writing all this content off. I thought it was a big mistake in the long run, but obviously for them, they needed to get the money down and get the business into profitability. And they just spent a fortune creating all these TV shows, many of which just didn't work. But with this show now coming over to the Wonder Project, it does, as I said, open up the possibility of some of these other shows to maybe find a new home. Maybe one day they will return to Disney Plus. It's looking less likely, because at some point a few years ago I was thinking that this stuff, we might never ever see it again, which I know a lot of people don't like the idea of these digital platforms having this control, and things should be out on physical media, etc. And at least just this way it is available. Obviously you're going to have to find another subscription cost. I did also find the concept of the Wonder Project to be interesting. Obviously it's a faith-based and family-orientated streaming service, which leans in a little bit on what Disney Plus was originally about before it went for all the changes, because it just isn't sustainable in the long run just being this. But I did find it interesting to see that it's working. Whether or not this runs in the long run, whether or not there'll be enough people to subscribe to it, who knows. But let me know, do you think it's a good idea for the Mysterious Benedict Society to be available on another platform? What do you think of this situation? What other cancelled shows would you like to see brought back and made available that after they got deleted? Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Later.